Hello everyone, in this guide I'll show you and explain to you the trade routes that's new in Brave New World. So now not only do you have to build roads to each of your cities, or harbors for that matter, there's now trade routes, and I'll explain a little bit more in depth here later on with units and the city transactions and things like that. But anyhow, just based upon this little explanation right on here, plus it's in the guide. If you look below a little bit, you can read upon it. Essentially, just as trade routes are established between two cities, you'll get gold every turn. You'll also get science, some religion if they have it, food. You can pass along food, you can pass along production, and you only can have a limited amount of trade routes between cities as well. And then I believe the amount of trade routes at the end of a game with no wonders or social policies added in, I believe it is a maximum of 8. And then if you have some additional things, you can get up to 9 or 10 trade routes, meaning you'll have lots of gold. And before we move on here too, trade routes are going to be the most important thing that you need and must have to make sure that you have a lot of gold coming in Brave New World, whereas prior, obviously there weren't exactly trade routes, so you don't have to worry about it. But before it was predominantly based upon having buildings that produced money, where now trade routes will be your money maker. So next we will be showing you, well, I'll be showing you a pre-made game that I have. Let me show you here. Single player, load game. Pre-made game of, for some reason I have it under Alexander, but it's actually the Brazilian Empire. So let's load this guy up, and I'll show you the trade route while it's enacted. So it's pretty interesting. Now this Brazil is probably not the best one to show you, considering he does not get any benefit out of it, but hey, he does get some benefits, so it's not all for naught. You know, Portugal would be one to show you that's pretty interesting because she gets some extra stuff. Anyhow, so you want to look, where is trade routes, where does it originate, and where is the button? So the button is at the upper left hand corner here, where it has like a little 2 arrows following each other. It says I got 3 trade units. I have 5 trade routes available. And then it tells you where they're at as well. And again, I've got something set up here already. And then you can click on it, and then it shows you your trade routes, and it shows you the city that's trading to, the amount of gold I'm getting, which is 14.4. and then 10 and 10 on the other cities, and the amount of gold that they're receiving. So again, remember that this is important. When you do set up a trade route, the other player will actually get money in turn, as well as you getting money. Plus they'll get science. So will you get science, but you only get science, now this is important to note too, you only get science if they have something that you don't already know. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. And then obviously they will get science as well, no matter what. And then if they do have a religion that you don't have, or you have a religion they don't have, you will trade religious beliefs upon each other as well. So if you want a religion really bad, you trade with that person a lot, and there's especially one city that has a lot of religion. Before you know it, you'll have that religion, hurrah. Or vice versa, they have their religion, hurrah. You spread your religion that way. So let's check out. There's also this. It shows you the trade routes available to me, which is a ton. And the further you go in a game, you're going to have lots and lots and lots of that. And then trade routes with me. What does that mean? That means the trade routes that are coming into my empire, people that are trading stuff into my cities rather than me trading to them. Having a lot of these helps you out as well. And then another quick tip about trade routes is, if you're trading with exclusively to one civilization, be careful, because you may load him up with tons of gold to buy armies to what may later be them attacking you with your gold purchased armies, which is a terrible thing to happen, but do be careful of that. You do want to spread out your trade routes throughout certain civilizations to make sure that not one empire is getting all of the benefits that you are giving them, but you might actually want to give it exclusively to one civilization in a multiplayer game. So that could work too. And then next, I'll show you, just one second, I'll tell you about the technologies that provide additional trade routes. So the first one's going to be in the ancient era here, granted by animal husbandry. It'll give you an additional trade route. And the next one will be sailing, again in the ancient era. And then next will be the classical era, which, or you know what, I lied. It is in the classical era, but it's not optics. It's actually engineering. Engineering will give you the third one. And then the fourth one will be in the medieval era. Let me find it here. I definitely know it's through compass. In the medieval era, compass will give you the fourth. And then the fifth will be in the Renaissance era through something. Let's see, maybe there wasn't. No, banking. Banking's the next one. Where is it? Where is banking? Where are you, banking? There we go. I'm blind. All these technologies blinding my eyes. Anyway, banking would be the next one. And then the next one past that is actually going to be biology. And then after that one, it's going to be through the railroad in the modern era, right on there. And then the last one will be through penicillin, right on there. Now also to note here, for anybody that's interested, there are quite a few that actually extend the range. Like this one extends the range of sea trade routes through refrigeration. And this one's just sea. And then the combustion one is just land trade routes. It'll extend it further, so that way you can trade very, very, very far away. So that way you can trade with that awesome gold producing civilization that you wanted. And then I know the Colossus right on here. If you read the description type, it now will grant you an additional trade route slot, and it will give you a cargo ship as soon as you build it. Plus, on top of it, you get 1 culture and plus 5 gold. If you have a city on the coast and you don't have this, I highly, highly recommend you build it, no matter what kind of playstyle you're going for, because it's very, very important to have that. Because if somebody else has that in their hands, they are very lucky, to say the least. So I definitely recommend trying to get that if you play as any civilization. And so that will wrap it up for trade routes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And this is through my Steam guide for Brave New World. So please check out further videos if you haven't already. Please check out my Steam guide if you haven't actually checked out the Steam guide. So please rate, subscribe, and comment. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.